Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into Eagles post-game live. The Philadelphia Eagles defeat the Dallas Cowboys by a score of 23-9 on Sunday night primetime football. The Eagles now move to 3-4-1 in this pathetic NFC Least and remain at the top. Now, we got a lot to talk about. This was not the cleanest game by all measures. At the end of the day, a win is a win, as they would say. But speaking realistically, speaking objectively, there is still not a lot of things that I was happy about in this game. But at the end of the day, when you're going up against a third-string bum in Ben DiNucci, who really could not put anything together, we were giving him a chance to stay in this game. I was getting a little bit worried, into this game, especially at halftime, down 9-7. But the Eagles come back. They score 8 in the third. They score 8 in the fourth. Dallas Cowboys just unfolded before our eyes. I never thought I would see a Dallas Cowboys team this bad. I mean, they were absolutely terrible, pathetic. The Cowboys are trash. They are the worst team in this division. There's no doubt about it. And the Eagles somehow, some way are the best team in this division. But I'm not going to lie. Carson Wentz played sloppy. Doug Pederson. We're going to talk about it. You guys give me your instant thoughts and reactions here up in the chat. We got 35 up in here. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe if you're new. Again, welcome to Eagles Post-Game Live. I go by RB. Philly Take with RB. Let's see who's up in the chat, man. My instant thoughts, again, the Philadelphia Eagles only put up 23 points against this Dallas defense that was giving up 34 points a game. I mean, they set all season lows against the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, Carson Wentz 4 turnovers. The Dallas defense had 3 turnovers through the first 7 weeks of the season. And we had 4 turnovers. I mean, that is just bad. There's a lot of bad that we need to talk about. But at the end of the day, like I said, a win is a win. Let's see who's up in the chat. Minnie says, I'm tired of Doug Pederson. Let's get these instant reactions up in here. Let's go, Cowboys. Nah, you guys are terrible. RW channel member, what's going on? 7-9 at half. Rick Bennett, a win, but too many issues. I hear you, man. I try to defend Carson, but sheesh, he's so bad. Mike McCarthy, the new Jason Garrett. They said it was Jason Garrett's fault. I want to see all the Cowboys fans up in here. I want to see their content creators who were oh so bold about them winning this game. Ben DiNucci needs to go back and work for the local Italian pizzeria, okay? Ben DiNucci, he had a LinkedIn page. He needs to go find a job. He's not an NFL quarterback. No disrespect against him. He's just not an NFL player. He was absolutely terrible. I think we sacked him 4 times in his game. But, man, we were on his, you know what, all night. The Dallas Cowboys offensive line stunk. Ezekiel Elliott went for 63 yards. He stinks. I mean, he is fat. Zeke is fat. He can't do it anymore. He can't do it anymore. Michael Gallup was the best receiver at 60 yards. CeeDee Lamb, this guy, oh my gosh, these Cowboys fans wanted to preach and preach. CeeDee Lamb. Well, how about you see your way out of the chat, because CeeDee Lamb is trash too. The Cowboys are miserable, and I love it. Even though we are all bad in this division, just the Cowboys imploding like that is a special sight. It's a special sight. Shout out to everybody up in here already, man. I know it's late at night, but hey, who cares? Eagles, Cowboys, post-game live. Look, don't get it twisted. I'm not happy about this win because I don't think I've ever seen a more boring game of football, okay? Now, Carson Wentz, like I said, with the 4 turnovers, the fumbles, the interceptions, just the boneheaded plays, holding on to the ball. I mean, the guy is 5 feet flushed out of the pocket. All he has to do is throw it away, and he holds on and takes a 10-yard sack. I don't understand what goes through his head. Doug Pederson's play calling, I've never seen a coach try to get so damn cute. Just stop it, Doug. Look, a 3rd and 6, and he's trying a Philly special, right? A 2-point conversion, a quarterback keeper with Jalen Hurts. What are you doing, Doug Pederson? Sometimes I question this man, why? It's like we literally play down to our competition. We play the Seahawks, we play the Packers. We're not doing these types of things, but we play the Cowboys, who come out of the gate and they're doing triple end arounds to CeeDee Lamb, to Michael Gallup, and Doug's like, oh, I gotta outsmart everybody. I gotta be the one to just be so smart. And stop it, Doug. I mean, wide receiver screens. Stop it, Doug. I can't believe that we actually, went up as much as we did in the fourth quarter. That's just because Dallas was bad. But besides Travis Fulgham, who again is the man, thank you for winning me some money, Travis Fulgham. But hey, Travis Fulgham, 78 yards and a touchdown on 6 catches. Besides Travis Fulgham, our next highest receiver was Jalen Reagor, who came back and had 16 yards and a touchdown, but 16 yards. I mean, we were not spreading the ball. We didn't even incorporate a tight end into this game until midway into the third quarter. I think it was like 4 minutes left. I literally tweeted it out. I'm like, why have we not used a tight end yet? Dallas Goedert was in there for the majority of the snaps. Richard Rodgers, the guy is going off. And he's nowhere to be found. I don't get it sometimes, man. Dallas Goedert finished this game with 1 catch, 15 yards. A beautiful play, was wide open, and then that goes to the wayside as well. The Fulgham touchdown was nice. The Reagor touchdown was nice. But the Cowboys had a lot of miscues. Late in this game, they come back fourth quarter. Ben DiNucci is rolling down the field. We're up 15-9. Luckily, Doug goes for 2 and finally gets one. But, I mean, still was just a bad decision. And then the Cowboys come down the field, and Ben DiNucci, thank you, Jim Schwartz. Thank you, Jim Schwartz. Even though I don't think Schwartz blitzed as much as I wanted to see, even though I didn't see as much pressure as I wanted to, Jim Schwartz brought the house on a 3rd and 6. TJ Edwards creamed Ben DiNucci, and that ball went flying out. Now, everyone's going to talk about, was it a fumble? Did Vinny Curry have it up strapped against his leg? At the end of the day, you know what? Cowboys fans? I don't care. I don't care. You know why? Because years ago, the revenge game, we're going to call it, right? Remember when Malcolm Jenkins came out of a pile with the football and the refs called it down? You remember that? Guess what? I don't care. I'll take the touchdown. We went out, never looked back. The Dallas Cowboys' most memorable play tonight was snapping the ball on a punt out of the end zone for a safety. Literally, that was their best play tonight, honestly. And then the Eagles go up 23-9. They win the game. Now, again, a win is a win, but we have a lot to work on this team. There's just a lot of things I saw that I really did not like. A couple guys went down. Kelsey went down, got back up, thankfully. Jason Peters, I mean, who could have predicted that, right? Jason Peters goes down. He ended up coming back. Darius Slay went out with an ankle injury. I don't think he returned, and that is very worrisome with Darius Slay. We need him to come back. Boston Scott finishes this game with 70 yards on 15 carries, but you know what? Doug Pederson got him out of the rhythm early on. Boston Scott had 45 yards on his first 3 carries. The guy was literally, I mean, this is the worst run defense in the league. They were giving up, I think they said 200 yards per week over the last month, and we don't come out, just running it down their throats. I don't understand it sometimes. Boston Scott had 45 yards on his first 3 carries, and we just come out and we're just pass happy. Doug, it has to stop. You got to bounce it. At the end of the day, I'll continue to say what I've been saying. Doug needs to give up his play calling duties. It's time. I mean, you can just see we get so stale, and it's very tiring. But some of it was on Doug, but a lot of it was also on Carson Wentz. I mean, you're a franchise quarterback. You've been making some of the comebacks you have in the past couple of weeks, making some of these big throws, and you come out against a division opponent. Luckily, they didn't have Dak. Luckily, they didn't even have Andy Dalton. If we were playing a better team, we probably lose this game because Carson Wentz doesn't know how to throw the ball away and is taking sacks, and I don't understand what's going through his head, man. There are a lot of things I did not like. Our defensive line was okay, I thought. And now in terms of the pass rush, they were getting to Ben DiNucci, making him think. And again, Jim Schwartz was throwing different things at Ben DiNucci. The Eagles' offensive line, I think they did okay. Now they started to get completely obsolete in the second half in terms of running the ball. We're not opening up anything by any means. But at the end of the day, this was just a boring game to me. And I didn't see too much spark from this Eagles team. I thought if we come out and execute a solid game plan and we keep the offense rolling this game, we probably score 40 points. To just put up 23 against this Cowboys defense is disappointing. It's disappointing to me. That's really all I got right now. Let's get some of these comments in here. What's going on, everybody? We got 70 up in the chat. Hit the like button if you're just coming in. Subscribe if you are new. What's going on? Let's see. Press Taylor needs to go. Hey, look, I don't know what the heck these guys are doing. At the end of the day, it's really pissing me off. I mean, Jalen Hurts even came in for one throw. I think it was 9 yards. Look, it was a great pass, but like, what is the point of that? He comes in for one play and goes out. Like, really? The Cowboys couldn't get anything, bro. And they had Ben DiNucci throw the ball 40 times, had 180 yards. Carson Wentz threw it 27 times, which was actually good, but only for 123 yards. And he was just bad. Carson Wentz did not play good at all. Took 4 sacks. And oh, man. Mr. Philly, what's going on? Swear Doug almost lost his game. He really did. Doug, like, again, these wins seem to overshadow the fact that Doug Pederson is not coaching good right now. He's really not coaching good. Look, I'm not there where I'm going to say we got to be out on Doug, but at the end of the day, man, if I keep seeing more crap like this, it's really pushing me to my extent. The organization must step in and must get Doug Pederson to delegate his power to an offensive coordinator. I'm really tired of seeing the same things, of seeing this man try to outsmart himself. I mean, why? What is the point of some of these calls? I'm just sitting there, I'm like, even the fourth downs, what were we on fourth down this game? I mean, I remember an early fourth down. We were 0 for 3 on fourth down this game. I remember the early fourth down. We're at midfield. We cannot get anything going. I think we were up 3-0, I believe, and we go for it on 4th and 3. And these fourth down calls were throwing it 15 yards down the sideline. Like, what are you doing? We got a tight end named Dallas Goedert who's going to snag anything you give him. We got Travis Fulgham who's going to fight any corner. And I just don't understand some of these calls. But we go 0 for 3 on fourth down. Doug, I mean, just doesn't call the right plays at the right time. That's the thing. Situational is really bad. It's really bad, and it's getting tiring. Luckily, the Cowboys couldn't take advantage of it. But, man, like Von Talks podcast says here, this was hard to watch. I mean, I almost fell asleep in the fourth quarter. That's how bored I was watching this game. Honestly, Cowboys had 20 first downs and we had 14. They had 21, we had 18. Crazy, man. We dropped so many picks. We really do. I mean, Rodney McLeod. Who else? I think Maddox dropped one. Maddox had a pass interference at one point in this game. The refs were bad on both sides again, but that's just the refs. Ben DiNucci did great. Yeah, at one point, it's like Ben DiNucci was outplaying Carson Wentz. I wrote down the stats at halftime. It was ridiculous. Ben DiNucci was 7 for 17 with 67 yards, and Wentz was 8 for 16 with 80 yards. I mean, are you kidding me? At halftime? I feel like we did nothing to get into a rhythm in this game, but Mike McCarthy was clapping. Please tell me you saw that. I did not see that. There was a lot. I'll be honest. There was a lot of times in this game where I'm like, oh my gosh, can we get on with this? Like, really, I don't have much else to say about this game. Like, a win is a win, but at the same time, it's just like there's a lot to work on, man. I feel like the Eagles play up to their competition. And then I feel like they play down to teams like this, and it's annoying. It really is. It really is, man. Jersey Boy says, ugly win, but I'll take it. Go Birds. I hear you. Ryan Rowe, what's going on? Kyle Grover, hats off to our defense. Doug needs to take a long, hard look at himself as well as Carson Wentz. That's a good point. I hear you. Hey, man, at this point, it's just like, you cannot be a franchise quarterback. You can't be the man making 28 a year or 28, $30 million a year. And, you're throwing balls like that. It just can't happen, especially if you want to win. Brian Santiago, I love it, says, I got one question. Amari who? Who's Amari? Can anybody? Who's Amari? I don't know who that is. Did he play tonight? I saw him run off the field at one point, but Amari Cooper, talk about getting strapped. This guy, he had one catch for 5. I didn't even see him have a catch. The man got locked by Darius Big Play Slay. And at the end of the day, even when Slay went out, Amari Cooper, what did we say? Oh, you got Darius Slay for Amari Cooper. Yeah, we did. And he locked him up. The man was non-existent. He didn't even show up to Philadelphia tonight, and I love it. I love it. Amari Cooper is bad too. Yeah, that was great, though. That was great. We are missing almost all our O-line. So are we. Haha, Cowboys fans got what they deserve. RB Ben DiNucci stinks. Ben DiNucci is so trash. At the end of the day, it's just like, This is what I expected the Eagles defense to do. I picked the Cowboys to score 13 in this game just with a garbage time touchdown. I didn't expect Ben DiNucci to put up more than 10 points. First off, the guy has a weird throwing motion. He's like throwing from down here. And then at the same time, I mean, even he did some weird things. Like he saw the pressure come and just took it. You know, the O-line didn't protect him. It is what it is. But, oh, man. Jalen Reagor is the best receiver from the draft. I like what I saw from Reagor. At the same time, I don't think he got enough targets, but he looked good. So did Dallas Goedert for the one catch that we gave him. The most boring primetime game ever, but I will take a dub. I hear you. RB, don't you think the Cowboys are bad mostly because of Dak's injury? That's a huge part of it. That's a huge part of it. They just have no heart, though. The Cowboys have no heart, and I love it. I love it. They stink. Travis is the best receiver in the division. I agree. I think Travis is the man. Like, people continue to sleep on this guy. I told you, he has that it factor. He has that it factor. Like, you don't need – people are saying, oh, we need some more time to see if he's a true number one. We need some more time to see if this guy can really do it. No, we don't. No, we don't. Travis Fulgham is the man. Did you see how he toe-tapped that touchdown? Did you see that? I mean – that is A1 level right there. And I love the dude. I love him. You want to be talking trash about CD if he got drafted to the Eagles? Look, I'll give crap wherever it's due. CD Lamb is not playing well. The Cowboys stink. It is what it is. We're missing a lot of our starters. Yeah, look, don't mind the Cowboys. There will be Cowboys fans that come in here and can talk for real. But a lot of these Cowboys fans, they use the same excuses that the Eagles use, or that we tried not to use. You know what I mean? Like last year, we were completely decimated by injuries. Did we use it as an excuse? No. They have no heart, man. They have no heart. Shout out to Nitro Freak with the donation. Appreciate that, bro. Says, we suck. Happy with the window. Nitro Freak was actually at the game. Great Eagles content creator. If you have not yet, please sub him up. He was up at the game, and I saw your video at halftime. He said, I mean, the boos were raining down. At halftime of this game, all I could sit back and think about was myself saying, you know what? I'm right. Like, every single Eagles game comes down to some type of heart attack. Now, luckily, we were able to separate because the Cowboys are that bad. But Nitro's right. Like, our team sucks too, and I can admit it. We just don't suck nearly as bad as those stinking Cowboys. But, hey, I agree with you, man. I'm happy with the win. It is what it is. At the end of the day, somehow, some way, like, we can literally sell half our team right now and still be the best team in this division. And it's funny. But don't listen to these Cowboys fans that are up in here saying, oh, well, we're injured. No. You guys have a terrible coach, a terrible system, and you suck. It is what it is. Take it on the chin. Let's see. Boston Scott looks bad. Look, I don't think Boston Scott looked bad. Maybe we're just seeing it different, but at the end of the day, like, Boston Scott had 45 yards in his first 3 carries. Now, getting into the second half, once Doug went away from him and decided to come back, our offensive line was not opening any holes. By the way, Jordan Mailata, moving him to the right side, he was getting absolutely burnt like Texas toast. Mailata was terrible on the right side. He was bad. He was bad. Like, we saw it happen with Andre Diller. When you move a guy over to the right side who's playing well, who is getting some esteem, some confidence, they just get exploited. Mailata was bad tonight. That offensive line was not opening any holes after the first quarter for Boston Scott. That's how I saw it. Gonzo Nation says, good game. Hey, good game to you, bro. See, a real Cowboys fan. He knows. Corey Clement finally got some ball time. He had a couple nice carries. Let's see, what did Clement finish with? 24 yards, not too bad. I mean, it is what it is at this point, you know. But Doug is the dumbest play caller in the NFL. He was bad, but why stop running? Look, I don't think he was bad. I think we just got away from it. You know what I mean? We just got away from it. Shout out to Rick Bennett with the donation, man. Appreciate that a lot. It says, I'm happy with the win. Just does not have the same feel as a normal Dallas win. Coaches need to clean it up. Time to prove their worth. I absolutely agree 100%. Eagles got a lot to clean up after what I saw tonight. This team, this Eagles team should have put up 40 on this Cowboys defense. I mean, they were bad. Just the fact that they accumulated 4 turnovers and they had 3 turnovers through the first 7 weeks of the season. And they had 4 with a minute into the third quarter. And part of it was Carson Wentz, but part of it was like, how are they beating us like this up front? Like, really, this Cowboys defense, they stink. Trayvon Diggs had 2 interceptions, I believe. Ridiculous, but man, I don't know, man. Like, a win's a win, but at the same time, I feel you, Rick. It's just like, it's not the same, you know? It's not the same. Not at all. But I appreciate that donation, man. Anton says, don't know what to think, especially in the area of Carson Wentz. I feel you, man. It's like this game reminded me of earlier in the season Carson Wentz. Like the crowd came out of their cellar tonight. I saw them all over the internet. Bench Carson Wentz, bring Jalen Hurts. They were there for a second. They were ready to call on Jalen Hurts to go. But Carson Wentz ended up coming down and getting a touchdown. But I'm telling you, it was 15-9 with like 7 minutes to go. I think 7 minutes to go until we got that fumble recovery for a touchdown. They were in it, man. They were in it. Shout out to all my channel members up in the building. I see you guys up in the chat, man. Carson is killing us with the turnovers. Definitely need to clean that up. Yeah, Carson Wentz now leads the NFL in interceptions with 12, I believe, and I think he has 11 or 12 touchdowns. It's bad. You can't do that. And he has 15 turnovers? Like, you can't do that, Carson Wentz. You cannot do that. Not with the way you're being paid to be a franchise quarterback. You cannot do that. These guys are looking upon you to lead. Can't happen. Can't happen. To have 4 turnovers against this team just into the third quarter, it's not good. It's not good. 15 turnovers for Carson Wentz. Most in the NFL, man. Ridiculous. My God. Shout out to Win from the G. Appreciate that donation, man. Says, how do you feel about our defense and also Carson going forward? And this Travis Fulgham kid can be special. Again, appreciate that donation, man. Really appreciate the support. About our defense, based on tonight, I'm happy with what I saw from Jim Schwartz. I did want to see a little bit more in terms of blitzing. We just got to stay healthy on the defensive end. At the same time, though, our line up front, Brandon Graham had another sack. He has 7 on the season. Brandon Graham is our horse. He's our horse. Him and Fletcher Cox lead that defensive line. That's what we're predicated on. As long as Darius Slay stays healthy and we're okay, this defense is great. This defense is great. And Jim Schwartz has to stay aggressive. Got to stay aggressive. Later in that game, before we got that turnover on the blitz, the Cowboys were coming down and they were exploiting us because Jim was playing soft again. He was reverting to that soft coverage. Fortunately, TJ Edwards gave a big blow to Ben DiNucci, made him turn the ball over, and we were okay. I think our defense is all right. In terms of Carson Wentz, you can't make those bad mistakes like that. You can't make 4 mistakes like that. It just can't happen, especially if you want to go into the playoffs and win a playoff game. You play like that, you're going to get wiped out first round, no question about it. But I do think a lot of it is Doug Pederson. I don't think he's helping him enough. I don't think there's that support from this group. He doesn't have a John DeFilippo like he had in 2017. You know what I mean? He doesn't have a Frank Reich, the architect. I call him the architect. He doesn't have that play design anymore. But there is a little bit concerning about Carson Wentz in terms of missing open receivers. I don't know if you guys see this like I do. Even on some of the replays, it's like Carson Wentz will have a Greg Ward wide open. He'll have a Travis Fulgham wide open, and he just doesn't see it. And I'm like, how do you not see that? It's right in front of you, Carson. So there's definitely some decision-making qualities that are concerning me. The talent is there, but I think he needs more out of the staff to help him get it out of him, in my opinion. And in terms of Travis, like I was just saying, Travis Fulgham is the man. He is the number 1 receiver. There's no doubt about it. He's the best receiver in the division, like someone just said. I'll take him over anybody at this point. He has that it factor. I don't want to make comparisons. He looks like a mixture to me of a young Alshon with the Bears and a Randy Moss. I'm not even going to lie. This kid goes up and snags balls wherever they are thrown. He's tough. He's strong. He battles. And he has a swagger about it. I love his confidence. I love it, man. I love it. I think Travis is the man. He's probably the next jersey I'm going to get. We got to look. The future of this team is what you saw tonight: Jalen Reagor, Travis Fulgham, and Dallas Goedert. No doubt about it. That is our core right there. Shout out to Jalen with the donation. I appreciate that, man. Says Carson Wentz needs to do all of the defense laundry this week. You are not lying about that. Carson Wentz needs to go in there and give a handshake to every defensive player. He needs to go up to Brandon Graham and say, Brandon, thank you for saving me. Thank you for bailing me out. He made Ben DiNucci fumble and picked it up himself. A beautiful strip sack by Brandon Graham. He needs to go up to TJ Edwards and say, you know what, TJ? Thank you for coming back from injury this week. You saved my you-know-what. I mean, if we lose this game, if Ben DiNucci goes down and scores a touchdown, and this is a one-point game, I mean, it would have took another heroic performance from Carson Wentz late in the game. I completely agree with you, Jalen. He needs to go up and thank everybody on that damn defense. And Jim Schwartz as well. Man. Appreciate the donation, man. Let's see. Who we got up in the chat, man? Demon Badger, what's going on? Another channel member says, haha, Dallas are 2-6. They're trash. They're done. Dallas is going to sell their team. They're done. No doubt about it. Doug Pederson is a mess. He goes against a team that can't stop the run and makes these terrible play calls. Come on, it isn't difficult. Run the ball. Absolutely agree. Couldn't say it better myself. You got to run the ball, man. You got to run the ball. I mean, I'm telling you, Boston Scott was getting in his groove. Three carries to start off this game for 45 yards, and you just go away from that. It happens every week, and I don't know why there isn't someone to hold him accountable on the sideline. Where the heck is Press Taylor, Scangarello, Marty Mortimer? I mean, we don't have to keep saying these things, right? Like, where are they at? Because a lot of people, Doug Pederson's going to go out to the podium. He's going to answer these questions. And if someone gives some negativity, it's going to be, oh, well, that's a bad question. We won the game. He's not going to answer these questions unless we were to lose a game like this. But at the end of the day, he needs to be held accountable for it. I don't think he's a play caller, man. I don't think he is. You can't get paid like that and not produce. I agree. Let's see, man. Philly girl up in the chat. Cowboys fans still living in the past with those VCRs. Yeah, mine's getting dusty at this point. Hold on, we got to give Philly girl a warm welcome because she is the newest channel member here on the channel, and we never got to do it. So at this point, everybody in the chat, give me a yes, sir, as I get the sound effect out here. We're going to give her a double whammy. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the channel members. I think we're getting up close to 20 members. I do appreciate you guys a lot, man. Let's see. Let's get the air horn out. Let me get a yes, sir. Hold up. Let me get a yes, sir. Shout out to Philly girl up in the chat. Hit her with a yes, sir. Shout out to all the channel members up in the building, baby. And for the one time, we're going to run it back. We're going to run it back like the Run It Back podcast. Yes, sir. Shout out to Philly girl. Appreciate your support a lot. Shout out to the members. And shout out to all the Dallas Cowboys fans in here. I know you guys are bathing in it, just the misery. And I love it. Cowboys stink, man. Where's those Cowboy content creators? They were all up debating with us. Oh, Ben DiNucci's going to cook the Eagles. He stinks. I mean, I could have went out there and probably completed more passes than Ben DiNucci because he's that bad. He is that bad. Let's see, man. Superhero 18, what's up? A win is a win. At the end of the day, I guess it is. Let's see. Get rid of Carson Wentz. Nathan Rizzo watching the game made my eyes bleed. You couldn't score for 3 quarters against the 32nd ranked Divas. We can read off all the numbers, bro. I feel you, man. It's bad. It's bad. Oh, man. Shout out to Jim Schwartz up in the chat with the donation, man. Appreciate that a lot. Says, I told you I would carry us to victory. Jim, hey, let's go out for a beer on me, Jim. Hey, shout out to Jim Schwartz. Show him some love up in the chat. Jimmy Schwartz up in the chat. You were scaring me, Jim. You were getting me a little bit nervous, but guess what, Jim? You sent the blitz. TJ Edwards, a hero this game. TJ Edwards comes back and had a great game. I thought our linebackers played well. Without who? Someone remind me who went to IR? I believe his name was Nathan Gary, and I believe he wasn't on the field, and I believe TJ Edwards made some big tackles. I believe Will Parks made some big tackles. I believe Duke Riley made some big tackles because that man, Nathan Gary, don't even bring him back on the field, man. This might have been our best linebacker performance as a whole, honestly. It really was. But shout out to Jim Schwartz up in the chat. Shout out to all the yes sirs. I see him up in here. I love it. Zale McGee, appreciate the donation, man. $4.99 super chat says, how do you feel about people saying benching Carson Wentz? Look, at the end of the day, I'm not benching my quarterback. This is my opinion. You cannot make these kind of throws, but again, I need to see. Look, his decision-making process is not there. But Doug Pederson needs to help this guy out. And Carson Wentz, you just got to get better, man. You can't bench your quarterback. You're in first place. You're 3-4-1. Now, if the Eagles were to go ahead and lose 5 straight, well, I start to consider, right? I start to look at the future because this organization is going to have to make some key decisions going into next offseason. But Zale, here's what I'll say. At the end of the day, Carson Wentz has showed us a lot the past couple weeks. Maybe this is just a bad game for Carson Wentz again, even though it kind of mirrored how he was playing earlier in the season. But at the end of the day, I'm not taking Carson Wentz out just yet. What I will say to you is that what I saw from Jalen Hurts, a couple weeks ago, right? He threw like an 18-yard pass right on the money. Today, he comes in, throws a 9-yard pass on the money. Start bringing Jalen Hurts in and start letting him throw the ball a little bit. Don't just bring him in to keep it all the time. You know what I mean? Because it's too predictable. Again, with Doug's offense, a common theme, predictability. He needs to come in and have that threat of throwing the ball. Whether you have Carson Wentz at wideout, whether you do a fake and flip it to Greg Ward who throws it, I don't care. But have that dual threat. I mean, the guy's a second-round pick. If you are going to bring him in, which I don't agree with, if you are going to bring him in, at least make him a threat with his arm. He showed he can hit a 9-yard pass. One last thing on Carson Wentz. There are still some overthrows that are just way too easy to be missing. That is my personal opinion. He's got to hit them going forward into the next couple years. If he keeps throwing a ball like that, I mean, he's not gonna be here. Let's see. See, we got Cowboys fans up in here talking smack like they didn't just get obliterated, like they're not the worst team, maybe in the NFL. It's pretty funny how these Cowboys fans act, but it's always next year, right? You guys got it next year. Don't worry. You'll come back with a new coach. It was Jason Garrett's fault. Come on, man. Cowboys fans are funny, man. You guys lost to a team with no name. Well, guess what? You lose to every team. You're not good. You're not good. It's fun. Like, I've never seen a fan base make this many excuses, man. I love it. DiNucci has a better rating than Wentz already. It's funny, man. It's funny, the things that these people say, man. But again, you guys are the most delusional fan base in America for a reason, you know? It makes sense. It makes sense. Shout out to we got 105 up in the chat. Hit the like button for me. Let's get it up to 100 likes. Subscribe if you are new. We do this after every Eagles game. We do a lot of good content here on the channel. I'm a fair Cowboys fan, but we are awful. I like Zerline with a 59-yarder. Yeah, that was the highlight of your night, to be honest. That was the best play the Cowboys had all night. A 59-yard line drive field goal. Ridiculous. Nathan Rizzo, I want Jalen Hurts in more and more week by week. Carson does enough to stay relevant. I just wish he wasn't playing so bad. I hear you. No excuse for Wentz. Bad play, but he's also the most sacked, hit, and hurried quarterback. I agree with that, too. You know, a lot of pressure on his neck. That one pick in the end zone wasn't his fault. Miscommunication of the route and defender made a crazy catch. You know what? That's a great point, Michael. I wanted to mention that and I forgot. So thank you for reminding me. John Hightower. What the heck is going on with John Hightower? Right? He has a couple big catches this year, but the two plays, I mean, one goes down the sideline. Both Trayvon Diggs interceptions. They were nice catches, right? Tracking the ball. But John Hightower, the first one, he stops running the route. Carson led him perfectly. All he had to do was keep running. It falls right in the breadbasket, touchdown, right? He stops running, interception. I'm like, what? It looked like he was trying to box him out. I'm like, what are you doing, John Hightower? He comes back later in the game. Carson throws one down the field again, even though I didn't agree with it on a 1st and 10 from a 50. He throws it down the field, and John Hightower he's aligned directly with the route of the ball, and he swerves off to his right. And it gets intercepted. I'm like, what are you doing, John Hightower? I know you're a 5th-round pick, but come on, John. You don't know how to run a route? Come on, Hightower. Oh, man. Hightower was bad. He's got a lot to learn, man. Dallas fans, come on, do like Gonzo and take your loss with grace. Exactly. But they're just gonna make excuse upon excuse. So I'm loving it. I'm here. I'm listening to all these excuses. It's great. It's great. I love it. I'm pretty sure if Dak was around, won this game, Carson will definitely get benched. You can't win with that many turnovers. Yeah, this was the first game that we actually lost the turnover battle, I believe. Yep, 4-2, we lost the turnover battle and still won the game. It doesn't happen often, but against a terrible team like Dallas, well, anything can happen. You know what I mean? Wentz isn't the only problem. From the play calling to the injuries and Wentz, all these combined are ruining this team, and it sucks. I hear you. Rieger, for his first game back, played okay. A lot of things to learn, but why weren't playing him 100%? Yeah, I feel you, man. It's like guys get into a rhythm, and then they just get taken out, and I don't like it. I mean, literally, the second highest receiving yards was 16 by Jalen Rieger. I mean, are you kidding me? Greg Ward doesn't get involved. Dallas Goedert doesn't get involved. We had one catch by a tight end in this entire game, and it was perfect in space. Like, come on, man. Fulgham needs a contract ASAP. He's 29 receptions for 435 yards, 4 touchdowns. The guy's been what we are waiting for. I agree. Fulgham is a real deal. If you're Howie, what's the conversation that you have with Doug and Wentz? Here's the conversation. I go up to Doug Pederson and I tell him, hey, you better get your stubbornness out of this locker room, right? You're a culture guy. You want to lead men. Well, you got to realize when you're not doing it sufficiently, Doug. Doug, you have to go and get an offensive coordinator. Whether we go in-house and bring one of these guys to be your OC or whether we hire someone, right? Doug is not a play caller. He's not. Look, Doug, he can be a play caller, but when he gets into this bad flow, it's like he just doesn't do anything right. When everything's on, right? When the play design is there, yes. But just he tries to outsmart everybody, and it's not that hard. It is not that hard. Someone said it, 32nd ranked defense, and you're trying to throw it 40 times. Wentz only threw it 27 times, but we didn't even have the ball that much. The Eagles got out-possessioned in this game by 5 minutes. Cowboys had more first downs, had the ball longer. They had more total yards. 265 yards for the Cowboys, 222 yards for the Eagles. And they ran 20 more plays than we did. We didn't have the ball. And Doug's just got to get an offensive coordinator. I can't say it enough. Carson should call plays himself. Yeah, every time we go to the no-huddle offense, man. I mean, Carson does what he has to do. Cowboys fans telling us not to celebrate the win, but if it was the other way, they'd be celebrating. Of course they would, because they are delusional as it comes. Look, they're talking about Carson Wentz. They're talking about this. They're talking about that. But in fact, they need to be worried about their own damn franchise because it's in jeopardy. Yeah, that's right. It's in jeopardy, and I love it. I love it. All the homies hate Philly, as they should. Look, I'm seeing how it is. In reality, Dallas had the players just didn't put the ball in playmakers' hands. Yeah, because they stink. They're not good. All I can say is congratulations, Eagles fans. Respect. He's not a Randy Moss, but okay. See, this is what I mean. I did not say he was Randy Moss. I did not say that he is exactly the same or is going to live up to Randy Moss. I'm just saying his ball hawking abilities is special. That is what I'm saying. Do I have to say it any clearer? That is what I'm saying. It's weird because when Carson doesn't have anybody, he makes plays and plays hearable and it works. But when he has all of his players, he plays bad. I miss the simple thing. I hear you, man. Carson Wentz, the less that he gets to know his receivers, he does better. The less experience, the better Carson Wentz gets. And I don't understand why. I don't understand why. Imagine Jim Schwartz carrying this team to a win. He really did. He really did. And he was even looking sketchy early on. Again, I still wanted more pressure, but at the end of the day, just the talent of our defense just stepped up, as we should, though, as we should against a Ben DiNucci. Dude's bragging like you don't know the entire Cowboys sides are hurt. Stop crying. Stop being a delusional little baby like you Cowboys fans are. You lost. It is what it is. Get over it. Your season's over. Okay. Are your Cowboy content creators not going to tell you that? Are they going to tell you everything's going to be all right? No. You guys come here because I tell you the truth. Your season's done. It's over. And I love it. Okay. Are you mad? Well, go be mad somewhere else, man. I love it. Like, you just got to give credit at the end of the day, man. And like, the Eagles didn't play well, but they won the game. It is what it is. It is what it is. I want to run the Giants out the building. We need to make a statement next game. We do, but we still haven't put together a full 4 quarters of a football game. And we still have not done it. We're halfway through the season. 9 points off 4 turnovers. The only reason why the Cowboys even scored at all. Exactly. But they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. Oh, we're hurt. Well, guess what? Week 16 last season, when Carson Wentz went up against a healthy Dallas Cowboys offense and had no receivers and had guys from the practice squad, were the Eagles here crying that we were hurt? No. We came out and won. We won the division because we played harder. When you don't have a lot of talent, you got to work harder. The reality is you don't believe in your system and your team stinks. It is what it is. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Like, I've never seen such a soft fan base as the Cowboys fan base. It's hilarious, though. Like, just admit it. You guys are done. Go back into your hibernation. Come back next year when you say you're going to win the Super Bowl. It is what it is, man. Slow Boys got a couple of lucky field goals. They really did. TJ Edwards played great without Nathan Gary. Singleton and Edwards Bradley would make a great linebacker core. I want to see the young guys, you know? That moment when you go crazy after you beat a third string. Look, I'm not going crazy. I admitted that our team stunk. And it was not a polished game at all. We did not play well. But at the same time, you guys are just atrocious. It is what it is. I can admit when my team's not good. It's sad that you can't do the same. Dallas is going to be 2-8, and I'm a Cowboys fan. Yeah, well, at the end of the day, I mean, you guys might not even be able to win another game, to be honest. Cowboys are just bad. Drew 210, what's going on, bro? What's going on? One of the worst games I've seen in a while, but enjoy the dub. It was a terrible game. The Eagles have a lot to work on. Doug Pederson called a terrible game again. Carson Wentz, sloppy. It was bad. We got a lot to work on. Every team in the division is bad. We're just the best out of the bad. So it feels like we try a Philly special every game. We should not do it as much. We shouldn't do half the things that we do. You know, a 3rd and 4, all you need is a slant. All you need is a curl route from Dallas Goedert. But no, we try to throw it 20 yards down the sideline at John Hightower. It doesn't make sense, bro. Doug's so predictable. He's even more predictable than Chip was. Damn, man. Coming at him. Y'all aren't going to get past the wild card. Well, guess what? You're not going to get past anything. You're not even going to get past week 17 because you're not good. You're not good. Oh, we're going to be 11-5. Oh, we're going to have the most potent offense of all time. Guess what? You stink. It is what it is. Doug is getting pissed at the news conference. Of course he is, because, again, I already predicted it earlier. They're probably asking him some questions about, you know, we're not able to get going. And he's like, oh, well, we won. It's okay. It's okay. Of course he is. Cowboys have not scored a touchdown in the last 2 games they played us. Nope. This whole division is terrible. This whole division is bad. I agree. Wow, look at this. An actual objective Cowboys fan. They come far and few in between, man. Cowboys are so bad, but at least there's a few of them in here. Congrats, Eagles fans. My Cowboys stink really bad. And it's funny how Cowboys people are in this chat when you guys could probably go into your own content creators chat and they're probably crying in there. You guys come here because I tell you the truth. I mean, it is what it is. Be proud of a win over the second worst team. Oh, now you're the second worst team. You guys are so soft. You're like little immature babies. Go back to daycare, honestly. I mean, you guys are the softest fan base I've ever seen in my life. Ever. I knew the Eagles would get the dub. What's good? What's going on, Nick? What's good? Doug Pederson says there was never any conversation on pulling Wentz. I probably wouldn't either. Calm down, you beat an injured Cowboys team. You guys are so soft. So soft, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Now you guys want to use the injury excuse. First it's Jason Garrett. Then it's the virus. Then it's injuries. What's next? What's next? Soft, man. I find it very hard to be happy about this game. I feel you. I'm not happy about this game. There's still a lot that we got to work on, and we should have put up a lot more points. Carson, I forced a turnover in the end zone. He did. It was a bad throw. What should we do at the trade deadline? Honestly, I mean, we should probably sell because we can still get better and sell and probably win the division because every other team is bad, to be honest. Cowboys have 0 touchdowns in 2 consecutive games. They're the worst team in the NFL. They're not good. They're terrible. Joey Shakes up in the building. What's going on, Joey? What's going on, man? I know we talked about this on our pregame live. Wow, this team has so many issues. Doug Carson, that's it. A joke. I feel you, man. I feel you. A win's a win, but there's so much that has to be critiqued. We talked about it earlier. Like, what if we come out here and what if we win a game by a couple points? Or what if we look sloppy? Well, we were very sloppy today. We were very sloppy today. We have to give credit where credit is due. Carson plays better with worse players because Doug is forced to simplify the playbook. Very good point. I agree. Carson, I got to be better just being smart. I'm not going to change my aggressive mentality. I'm not going to change who I am. Just have to protect the football. You got to change it, Carson. You got to change it. Us Cowboys fans wouldn't mind taking Jalen Hurts out of your hands for you at this point. You guys need something. Guys are idiots. Not people like you, but most of you guys think that you're going to just win the division all of a sudden. It's bad. Bruce, what's going on, bro? 6 wins will win the division. Honestly, 6 wins probably will. I think they said it's the first time in a long time that no team had 3 wins into 7 weeks into a season. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Exactly. The fact of the matter is they don't have talent and they don't have hard work ethic. That's why they're bad. Joey, facts. It's just the delusional Cowboys fans, as they always do. I love it, though. And then it's idiots like this guy. I literally said the Eagles are bad. Like, these people don't watch the videos. They don't watch the stuff. They just come in here like Cowboys fans do, like they're getting so hurt. It's hilarious because their team is that bad. They have nowhere else to resort to. It's hilarious. Oh man. I mean, this is great. I'm not only did I watch the Cowboys team implode, I'm watching their fans implode in front of me. I'm enjoying this. Oh man. Carson Wentz needs to get rid of the ball sooner. Exactly. He's holding on to the ball way too long, and he's just taking the worst sacks I've ever seen. Like, I've never seen someone take bad sacks like that. You're way out of the pocket. Throw the ball away, Carson. And then when he did throw it away, he throws it backhanded. I'm like, come on, man. Crazy. At least the Eagles held Zeke under 100 yards. The only time they had held him under 100 was last season in Week 16. They did that today. Pollard had 40 yards, surprisingly, but it's just crazy how the Cowboys had more yards, controlled the time of possession, all this stuff, and they're just that bad. The Eagles suck. Stop making excuses for the team. Are you serious, Mike? Are you serious? I mean, man, it's sad how you Cowboys fans can't even see your own delusion. It's hilarious, bro. Bad, man. Terrible. Of course, you Cowboys fans talk about not making it past the first round after you guys lose. We know we played like crap. Exactly. Thank you, Joey Shakes. I mean, I could just leave this up here. Like I'm admitting that we did not play well. But the fact of the matter is you guys are so terrible that we did what we had to do. It's hilarious, man. It's sad how only far and few in between can actually have a real conversation about it. But you guys are just bad. So are we. So are the Giants. So is Washington. But you guys are just the worst. Taco, good point. Why did the Eagles not attack the middle more on short passes? I don't know. Because Doug is not a good play caller. That's why. because Carson's not seeing the field well. I don't understand it, bro. Our only tight end catch of the game was made with a couple minutes left in the third quarter. Doesn't make sense. Richard Rodgers wasn't even used this game. Dude's been balling out. Crazy. I feel like we didn't even use the middle of the field at all, whether it's a slant, anything, man. I feel like we're trying to throw it across our body, for 10 yards. It's like ridiculous. No team in our division deserves to be in the playoffs. I agree with that. But at the end of the day, one of them is going to win. And when you get to the playoffs, which is a reason why I've been saying I still want to win the division, you never know what can happen in football in one given day. You never know. Eagles fans are deluded. That's a joke. Cowboys fans are soft. They really are, man. I love it. Facts don't care about your feelings, cowgirls. We really don't. Because if it was the other way around, you Cowboys fans would never shut up. And I'm loving it. You guys are just sitting back. And it's like they're all up in this chat. They're in an Eagles chat because they have nowhere to go. They don't have any aspirations left for the rest of the season. I love it. Cowboys fans are having a meltdown right now. I love it, man. I want it. Look, get your content creators. Get Mark Holmes up in here. What's he going to tell you? I love it. Joseph Ventura, I'm glad my boy Trayvon Diggs got 2 interceptions. Well, I mean, if that's like a small win for you, yeah, sure. My Cowboys suck. I knew the Eagles would win. Didn't expect it to be an ugly game, though. Thought y'all would win by more than 20. I agree. And we should have won by 40. That's how bad the Cowboys were. We just didn't take advantage of the opportunities. Again, Doug needs to get rid of his play calling duties. And Carson Wentz has to play much better. McCarthy's terrible. Couldn't coach a fish how to swim. Oh, man. I see someone in the chat says y'all got saved by the refs. There we go. I thought we were out of excuses. Keep them coming. What's next? Jerry Jones have a bad hair day? Is that why? Oh, man. Love the comments about Cowboys hurt and the Eagles aren't. We don't have anything to be hurt about tonight. I mean, we won the game. We got to be better, but we didn't lose. What position in the draft? Me? It'll never happen what I want. What I want is a first-round linebacker, but that'll never happen. The Eagles undervalue that. So I don't know. Maybe offensive line, maybe. We got to see. Carson and Doug need to step it up. Carson has the lowest quarterback rating of any QB starting for more than 2 games. Look, Carson's not playing well at all. He was on a roll the last couple of weeks, but did not play well tonight. Not at all. I love the Eagles, but they need to step it up. Hashtag salty Cowboys fans. Cool man Trev. Appreciate the donation, my guy. Hey, say it louder for the one time. For the people in the back, man. Eagles got to step it up. No doubt about it. You're not going to win games like this playing like this against good teams. But at the end of the day, I feel like the Eagles play down to their competition and play up against better competition. We don't always come out on top, but we competed with the Ravens. We competed with the Steelers. We compete with these teams, but when we play a garbage can like the Dallas Cowboys, we play down to our competition, and Doug Pederson tries to outsmart the entire world when we can all see it as casual bystanders watching the game. Honestly. Not that hard, man, but I agree, Trev. I agree, bro. We got to step it up. There's a lot that has to be fixed from this game. Shout out to the mods in the chat, man. Shout out to the channel members. Shout out to all the salty Cowboys fans. I'm loving this. Thank you guys for, I'm going to sleep real well tonight just knowing how sad the Cowboys fans are. I'm going to sleep real well. Bruce says, RB, my guy, I know you already know. I think you're the best Philly YouTuber. The other guys are good, but I definitely think you're on that next level. I appreciate that a lot, Bruce. Appreciate your support, bro. Shout out to you, man. Awesome moderator up in my chat. Thank you. Oh, wow. Look, another one. At least I know that the Cowboys are bad. I know I'll say that I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. Thank you. That's all you got to say. Miles, respect to you, bro. Look, I know you guys are bad, but it takes a real man to admit it. It takes a real man to admit it. So shout out to you. I'm feeling bad for Jalen Reagor. If he was with a better quarterback, he'd be a star. Hey, don't give up on him yet, man. He's a rookie. He's a rookie. Kyle says Wentz needs to be better. He's either not trying to improve himself with his mistakes or he just doesn't care enough to do it, sadly. That's just what it comes down to. It's time for the truth. You're right. I agree. I've always been a Wentz guy, but at the end of the day, it's just like you can't play this way against teams to try to win a division, to try to win a playoff game. You cannot play that way, the way that you played tonight. Carson Wentz should go up to the podium. I don't know what he said. Again, we've been on here. It's been an hour, crazy. But look, man, Carson Wentz should go up to that damn podium and say, you know what? I played like crap. That's what accountability looks like. That's what leadership looks like. He knows how to lead a bunch of practice squad players. You got to go up to the podium and say, I got to play much better. I played terrible. Terrible. Starts with them. Joseph says, I'm just going to admit it. My Cowboys are god-awful. I agree. Next week, DiNucci will be dead by the Steelers defense. He'll be sacked at least 7 times. Hey, I thought we had a good amount of pressure on DiNucci. Got out a little bit, but really couldn't get anything going. I thought we would have sacked him like 8 times, but should have been 45-3. Cowboys fans acting like Eagles are not injured. We had our safety on Cooper. Nicole Roby Coleman is garbage and he locked up. Maddox did. I agree, bro. They don't remember though that we have had 8 different offensive lines in there. They don't remember that we have injuries as well because they're Cowboys fans. They got to make every excuse instead of just coming out. Look, do the Cowboys have injuries? Yeah. Do the Eagles have injuries? Yeah. But guess what? The Eagles have a little bit of fight in them. They have a little bit of dog in them. The Cowboys just let down. I mean, they even had a player come out weeks ago saying that they don't even give it 100%. That's the funny thing. I didn't expect Carson to throw this many picks against the worst D in the NFL. I agree. Carson should not have played as bad as he did tonight. No doubt about it. And I can admit that as a true Eagles fan. We should have won this game 45-9. Honestly. I don't know who this guy is, but mods, I'm sure you guys already got him up out the chat. Anybody, if they're spamming like that, like just get them out the chat. If they're giving their opinion, it is what it is. If they're being racist, violent, if they're spamming like that, just saying weird stuff, just get them out the chat. Cowboys fans, I thought y'all said before the season y'all had the best offense when you stole Lamb. Exactly. They have the best offense of all time. Winning 12 games. No. No. This is football. This is football. It's not what you see on paper. That's not exactly what translates to the field. And again, I'll be as honest as I am about the Eagles and the Cowboys and every other team in this division. We have not done enough to get our rosters in the right situation in terms of a talent perspective. We both are in the same situation. Cowgirls are crying, acting like the Eagles aren't injured. Hey, all the Eagles fans have been here. Honestly, you guys might as well just Eagles fans, you guys might as well just enjoy this. I mean, we are seeing a true meltdown, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. There's a few of them that can actually talk, which is surprising, but it is what it is. TF13 is the top receiver in the league, in my opinion. He really is. I mean, he's had above 70 yards almost every game except for the first one, even though he had a touchdown against San Fran when nobody knew him. Dude's a baller. He's a stud. He's still on pace for over 1,000 yards, and he didn't play till week 4. Eagles had 3 offensive starters, and we're missing 6 defensive starters. Blessing Mansley, shh, don't tell them that. You're going to set off a ticking time bomb. They can't handle the truth. They don't know what it's like to be injured. Let me tell you, Cowboys fans, something. We've been injured the last 4 damn years. But what do? When we're 5-7 last year, we come back. We work hard. We play the underdog role. We have heart. In 2017, when we go down, when we lose an MVP quarterback, what do? We come back and we rally. We galvanize the troops. And we have a head coach that built a winning culture. That built a culture where guys are going to rally around each other. We don't sit up in a ball. We don't cry like you guys are. It just is what it is. As a Cowboys fan, I have high hope for my team, only for crippling disappointment. It's fine. I love the Cowboys in the game no matter what. Respect. YouTube needs to get rid of this cringy YouTube channel. They need to get rid of people like you who don't know can't just be a man, honestly. He watched a guy charge him from like 15 yards out and took a sack. Was kind of odd. Yeah, I did not understand that at all. That's just the decision-making part of it. It's just weird. Dallas loss is always great, but when Eagles put that L on them, it's just awesome. Exactly. They would be talking the same smack in reverse if they had won this game. They probably would have said they were still winning the Super Bowl if they won this game, honestly. That's just how delusional they are. He just said that Carson had a bad game. That's what I'm saying. They don't listen either. They don't listen. But it's expected. They don't listen to what I say. They don't understand that I hold my team accountable because they don't know what that is. Wentz kind of played bad, not going to lie. The second interception was because of the win. Wentz played terrible. And both interceptions, in my opinion, were because of John Hightower, who didn't run the right routes. But the one in the end zone, that's on Carson. The fumbles, that's on Carson. The terrible sacks, that's on Carson. But Doug Pederson didn't help him out either. Cowboys fans, do you want your baby bottle? Yeah, they're acting like pure babies. I was at the game. Number 11 looked bad. Yeah, I hear you. Tonight it is a whack-a-mole with trolls. Shout out to Rick Bennett for the donation. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's a bunch of trolls, a bunch of delusional Cowboys fans. It's funny, though, that they're up in here because they have nowhere else to go. Their season's over. Their season is over. It's over. And for the rest of the season, they can just lay down, go into hibernation like they usually do. Go in and hide and go off the internet. That's what they do. They're Dallas Cowboys fans. America's team, right? America's team. I love it. Oh, man, I love it. 2-6. America's team. Yeah. Oh, man. Shout out to Todd Fair. Appreciate the donation, man. $5 super chat. Says the Eagles really suck, but I'm glad they beat the Cowboys. Eagles are bad right now, too. And I don't know how many times I have to say it. We're bad. But at the same time, we're just not as bad. Not nearly as bad. And, somehow, some way, we're in first place in the division. So it is what it is. At the end of the day, if you want to lose, you got to lose your mentality. If you want to lose your season, you got to lose your mentality. Oh, man. I love it, man. putting a dub on the Cowboys is always the best thing. Like I said in my preview video, it doesn't matter if both these teams are 1-15. It doesn't matter if we are both 10-0. It doesn't matter if it's in the playoffs, if it's in a meaningless Week 17 game, if it's to win the division. Beating the Cowboys is awesome. It's awesome. Appreciate that donation, man. Todd with another donation. Hey, appreciate the $5 super chat, man. Says, do you think the winner of the NFC East deserves a playoff spot? Well, Todd, to be realistic, no. But then again, I would like to know how many wins the winner of the NFC East is going to get. If we come in here and we win 7 games and we go 7-8-1, I think we deserve a playoff spot. But if we win a division with 4 games, do we realistically deserve a playoff spot? No. But then again, we saw the Seattle Seahawks host a 7-9, or they were 7-9. They hosted the Saints years back, and they won a playoff game. So you never know. Sadly, it is how it is. That's how they do it in football. But at the end of the day, I'll take my dub. I'll take my dub. Appreciate that donation, man. Let's see. We got a bunch of crybabies in here. I love it. We got the legit Eagles fans putting it to them. How do you Cowboys fans love the DiNucci throwing those Texas Ranger bullpen breaking balls? Oh, man. His throwing motion is weird. Very, very weird. DiNucci learned more in one game than Wentz in 5 years. Now, tell me how that makes sense at all. Like, what does that even mean? What did he learn? How to get sacked? How to throw meatballs? Like, what did he learn? And by the way, you didn't even spell his name right. It's DiNucci. Oh, man. I mean, you guys are great. I mean, this is like a comedy show for me. This is Eagles Cowboys postgame live. To me, it's like a comedy show. But I love it. And again, I'm here for all the friendly banter. I'm here for all the division trash talk. It's what I live for, man. I love it. But just seeing you guys so delusional, man. I love it. I love it. Because at the end of the day, I can admit when my team is bad, but we still won the game. You guys can't admit that your team is terrible. And your season's over. CeeDee Lamb, they said, was their savior. Andy Dalton, they said. Shout out to the mods up in the chat, man. You guys are great. Rodney says, Doug needs to stop calling plays, period. I wish I could pin that to the chat, man. He needs to stop. He needs to delegate. Honestly, man. Your time is up, Doug. Your time is up. But again, Doug Pederson likes calling plays. So at the end of the day, you know, he's going to keep doing it. But it's sad. It is. $15 points on the worst D literally this century. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I just got here, didn't hear it. Look, I've been saying the entire night, the Eagles played terrible. Wentz has got to play much better. Doug Pederson can't call plays anymore because he's not good. Other than that, this was just a boring game. Like, not a lot of energy, not a primetime feeling, but it is what it is. A lot of things to fix. But I do know our season isn't over. I know we're going to be playing some at least meaningful football going forward, unlike some. Shout out to all 135 up in the chat, man. It's almost 1 a.m. We'll probably be on here for another like 15 minutes. Give me your guys' final thoughts on this game. I'll do a quick summation of what I said. At the end of the day, for the Eagles to get out-possessioned for the Eagles to have less yards, to go 0 for 3 on fourth down, 3 for 8 on third down, and only throw for 103 yards and rush for 119 yards and get outclassed in both of those categories. But to come out and win this game, Jim Schwartz put the pedal to the metal. Our D-line stepped up. Our corner stepped up. Even Slay, until he went out, was playing great. Even Michael Jacquet came into this game and was playing good. And at the end of the day, Boston Scott, he was able to get some things going, but Doug takes him out of the equation, as he usually does when people are doing well. And, the Eagles did what they had to do. I mean, we were down 9-7 at halftime. We shut them out in the second half, as I would expect our defense to do against Ben DiNucci. But at the same time, Carson Wentz, 4 turnovers against a team that had 3 turnovers accumulated in the first 7 weeks of the season is not good. Wentz's decision-making, terrible. Needs to be better. Yes. Carson Wentz played atrocious. But Doug Pederson's got to help him out. We need a better staff. And at the end of the day, I just feel like we play down to our competition. That's really all it is. But the Eagles win. We're going to be playing meaningful football. Cowboys are pretty much probably out of it. And the rest of this division stinks. So even though we are bad, we are not nearly as bad. And it is what it is. So there we go. I hate Trayvon Diggs so much. Dude has 2 easy picks, acts like he's the guy, but then proceeds to the same old Trayvon Diggs and gets mossed by TF13. Diggs had the first interception was really nice, but the second one, or even both of them, John Hightower, I mean, I don't know what the heck he was looking at. I did not like that from Hightower. Just my opinion, though. What's the plan for Jalen Hurts? Are you just going to keep him as a backup or trade him? I'm missing the point. Hey, man, I'll tell you, bro. I still don't understand it. I don't even like bringing him into the game because you used a second-round pick on him when you could have had a playmaker. And going down the line, if Jalen Hurts is going to be our future quarterback years down the road, well, you're risking him getting hurt. You know what I mean? I mean, I still don't like the way that we're using Jalen Hurts. Now, if you bring him in and he throws a couple passes like he did tonight, and then he can be an option as well on the ground, well, maybe you have something that can at least fool the defense, at least another component that they have to plan for. But these quarterback keepers, 2-point conversions, I mean, this is a second-round pick. We're a quarterback factory. I'm right there with you, bro. I still don't understand it. I still don't understand it. Eagles have a 60% chance of winning the division. Well, it's going to be a free-for-all. Any thoughts on the Rams? They're okay. They're okay. Did they win today? Who did they play? I was watching that game earlier for a little bit. I wish we could have won against y'all last week. Eagles are tough. Appreciate that, man. Yeah. At least Carson seems willing to hold himself accountable for his shortcomings. I wish the same could be said about Doug. Yeah, I agree. Doug's got to come out in a press conference and just lay it on the line, man. But as long as we win, he won't do it. Great game. Shout out to you. Skip is loving this. You already know. America's team, they're built different. Right. Right. I love it. I love it. Shout out to Rick Bennett, man. Appreciate all the support, all the donations, man. It means a lot. Says good night. Have to get to bed for working at AM. Have a good night, my guy. Appreciate you for being a Value Channel member and all your support here on the channel. Thanks for holding it down in the chat, too, with the other members and the mods. You have a good night, man. I know you're gonna sleep well. Not just because we didn't, not just because we got a win, but just because of these Cowboys fans in here and just all over that are just upset. It's great. It's great. Have a good night, my guy. Sleep well. Robert with an amazing point. Thank you. This is something I wanted to talk about too. It doesn't have to be the Eagles, but I love on camera Jerry Jones when they're losing, which is all the time. I love it. I love Jerry Jones, his pitiful, just disgusting face when they lose. He's just so mad. But Mike is his guy, right? Mike's his guy, so I love it. Philly girl, absolutely right. Cowboys fans in here because they can't create their own content. Exactly. And because their content creators don't tell them anything. They don't tell them that their season's over like I will. Sorry. It is what it is. Rams playoffs, yes or no? I would say no because that division's pretty tough. No one wants to win the NFC East. I do. Again, because, I guess I just have a winner's mentality. Anybody asking to lose has a losing mentality. Giants might sneak in the hunt. They really could, honestly. But again, I just don't see them having that much talent. This rivalry game doesn't feel the same when neither team was good at their best. Maybe next season will be a better. GG anyway, y'all are we're the better team. Appreciate that. I agree. It definitely did not feel the same. Cowboys fans are missing Dak. Yeah, but these don't stop it, Trayvon. These are the same Cowboys fans that wanted to make fun of Carson Wentz for going down with injury. Ooh. Guess we forgot about that. Now they're not only down one quarterback, they're down two. Well, I guess karma is a you know what. Carson Wentz is making $100 million is weird. Yeah. I'm just asking about opinions. Yeah, that's what we do up in here. We debate up in this chat. What has Wentz learned? Seriously, he's gotten worse every year since 2017. See, it's people like this that don't watch Eagles games. Like, you definitely don't watch Carson Wentz. Given the fact of what he's had around him, given the fact of what he has gone through, to say he's gotten worse every year since 2017, it's funny to me. It's funny. Hello from a Chiefs fan. What's going on? What's going on? Shout out to the Chiefs fan up in here. That dude's a weirdo. Thanks for the $2. Makes no sense. Dude's got to run the ball. I agree. You boys are gonna beg for mercy next week. They're on their knees crying right now. Imagine next week. The Steelers are gonna blow them out of this world. Fly Eagles TV, what's going on, man? Make fun of the Cowboys fans all week. For the rest of the season, honestly. Next time they play us, they're not gonna be relevant, even though they're not now. I mean, I'll be honest. We talked about this November 1st matchup just since the offseason. We used to have, these big streams. We used to talk about it. Oh, we're going to be this good. You're going to be that good. And I thought both teams would be good at this point. But to just see where everything's at, to see these fans imploding week 8, it is special. It's special. Oh, man. Andy Dalton, best backup quarterback. Go Birds all day, but dang, this game was concerning. Exactly, Andy. And we can play both sides of it. We can be understanding. I'm right there with you. This was concerning, but we won the game. This is the NFL. Your opinion on who should make the playoffs is irrelevant. There you go. How did Doug win a damn Super Bowl? I'll tell you. He had Frank Reich and he had John DeFilippo. Simple as that. Simple as that, to be honest. You can just tell he needs an offensive coordinator. He needs that partner in crime. He needs that architect. He doesn't have it. Wentz can't play better. Not a good quarterback. Completely disagree with you. Completely disagree. Field Goal Boy. Eagles fans are so delusional. Well, it's funny your name's Field Goal Boy. Because that's the only way you could generate offense, isn't it? Good name. Good name. Cowboys travel all the way to Philly to kick 3 field goals. What a waste. Yeah, right, Field Goal Boy? Oh, man. I love it. Hey, you guys want me to go get your VHS tape so you guys can watch your last Super Bowl? I love it. Nucci Main said, bring the heat. He can take it. Yeah, bring the house. Bring the house. Right, right. Do you guys know James? Do you know Ben DiNucci went to James Madison and had a LinkedIn profile, like expecting to get a full-time job out of school? I mean, this guy wasn't even expecting to be in the NFL. The only reason he was, if you guys saw on a broadcast, Mike McCarthy's brother coached him in basketball and told him to take him in the 7th round. You guys will win the worst division. Making to the playoffs over a high draft pick is pointless. Yeah, you're absolutely wrong for a lot of reasons. Number one, we tonight we saw our young wide receiver core. You want to get those guys experience. Believe it or not, I can admit Carson Wentz hasn't finished a playoff game. You want him to get experience. Even if it's bad, that sour taste stays in his mouth and he understands what it's like to go through a playoff game, the preparation. I mean, it is what it is. And again, you never know what can happen. So I disagree with you. Eagles need to complete more passes and run better. It all goes down to the scheme, you know? Eagles can't draft. Who cares about a top 10 pick if you can't evaluate talent? Now, that I agree with. I'm scared to even get a top pick because the talent that we've selected isn't living up. From a Chiefs fan, I'm worried about the Eagles. I like them. Doug needs to fix his stuff, but hey, a win's a win. On to the next game. My Chiefs have been playing nobody, so it's boring. I hear you, but hey, appreciate the look. Hey, be thankful of what you're seeing there. You guys are probably going to go deep again in the playoffs. I can't picture Wentz winning any game this month. Look at their schedule. Again, I think we play up to different competition. Carson goes hard in the second half per usual. Yeah, it's a common theme. He needs to do it throughout 4 quarters. What do you think about Wentz's performance? Again, did not play well by any means. Must adjust. Must get better. Trade hurts. All right, Philly take. Have a good one. Appreciate you, man, for stopping by. Doug is a bad in-game coach. Exactly. Gets out of his element, and no one keeps him in check. I agree. Let's see. That's pretty sad when your team intentionally takes a safety, then illegally does an onside kick on the free kick. That was great. That was funny, honestly. At that point, I'm just like, what even is this game? One and done for Mike McCarthy. Cowboys fans in here because they can't create their own content. Eric Bieniemy from Kansas City could replace Doug as a Chiefs fan. Don't want him to leave. Hey, I would take him as an OC, though. I know he's probably going to be a coach eventually, but right, I'm trying to win too. Yeah, I mean, you want to win your division. I'm not the tanking type of guy, so. So many people are hating on Wentz and saying he should be benched. What do you think? I don't think he should. We're in first place. We're even though we're not playing that well, at the end of the day, he's got to get better. This is how you get better, right? Now, if we go and lose the next 5, then you consider it. But right now, I wouldn't. Shout out to Tone DeShields, man. Appreciate the $2 super chat, bro. Says dope content. Wentz is in trouble, man. Shaking my head. Hey, man. I think he's in trouble if this continues. Now, we know the Philly fan base. They go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The first 5 games of the year, Carson Wentz was playing terrible. Then he had these couple heroic comebacks, and it kind of got overshadowed that we didn't play a good first 3 quarters. But I think, look, if this continues, I think not only could Wentz be in trouble going into, the next season and the future decisions, but Wentz could be in trouble. I think Doug Pederson could be in trouble. I think Howie Roseman could be in trouble. And I'm just speaking facts right now. Look, what I am seeing out of the Eagles is that Jalen Reagor, Dallas Goedert, and Travis Fulgham is the core, right? We've been coming into the season like, all right, we got the young guys in a draft. How can we build a core going forward into the future? And, given our big cap hit next year, we're a lot of money over the cap right now. How can we get younger, shed a lot of our cap, a.k.a. by cutting a lot of these vets, and how can we get better? Let me tell you, man, there will be a lot of interesting decisions this next offseason. If Wentz doesn't pick this up, if Doug doesn't delegate and doesn't get a lot better and doesn't understand the game, and we just got to wait and see what happens. I mean, this whole division is bad, and the Eagles are playing bad. We're lucky we're in this division. But if things do not change, a lot of people will be on the hot seat. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. But you're right, man. Wentz can be in trouble if he keeps turning the ball over at this rate, honestly. If the Eagles don't win a game, they'll still be leading the division. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Who do y'all play in 2 weeks? We play the Giants, and then we play the Browns. And then I believe we go on a tough stretch with the 3-game stretch with the Saints, Seahawks, and that. So that's going to be interesting. Hopefully we can get healthy, though. Shout out to everyone in the chat. We still got 100 up in here. Hit the like button if you guys could for me. Subscribe if you're new. Ding the notification bell. Shout out to everybody up in here tonight. Come on, tell me where he's improved then. Let's hear it. Who are we talking about? Carson Wentz? Well, I think number one, in terms of leadership, Carson Wentz has developed. He's learned how to do more with less. For some reason, the guy, like I said earlier, I mean, as the guys around him have less experience, he gets better. And I don't know why. But going through the adversity down last season, I mean, Carson Wentz showed a lot. Now, this season, I don't know what the heck's going on coming out here. I mean, making some of the decisions he's making, it's bad. You're right. The decision-making has gotten worse. But then again, like, there's more factors that go into this. I'm not going to take all this blame off of Doug Pederson because I don't think Doug Pederson has Carson in the right game plan, in the right flow. Just my opinion on it, but I don't know. Yeah, Carson still got to hit these throws. But then again, you give Carson a weapon like Travis Fulgham. Travis Fulgham's balling out. Have we given Carson enough? See, we start to have all these questions. You know what I mean? I don't know. Right now, Carson Wentz is nowhere near where I thought he would be this season. And I can admit that. Then again, I just feel, I don't know, man. I just think we have more issues. Like the quarterback is an issue right now, but the head coach is definitely an issue. And I can't just look past the fact that we don't run the ball, right? I can't look past the fact that we don't roll him out. You do know that when we roll Carson Wentz out, the man makes magic. Travis Fulgham's touchdown, right? I mean, look, man, when you roll Carson Wentz out, he's better on his feet. But again, there's been this whole thing about injury. There's been this whole thing about injury his entire career, and I said you can't take away that element from Carson Wentz because it's going to take away who he is. And apparently, it kind of seems like the Eagles are still trying to do that. I don't know. That's my opinion. Wentz 4 turnovers, defense saved us. I agree, Lamont. Carson Wentz cannot do that. The decisions that I saw were bad. They were bad, but I also think Carson might have had 2 more touchdowns if John Hightower could run a route. You know what I mean? I don't think we balanced the game plan that much. Cowboys' best bet is to bring back Eli Manning for the rest of the year. That's hilarious. Glad we won. We're first, but man, Carson pissed me off with the turnovers. I agree. Carson and Doug are both pissing me off. Did Wentz have a good game today? No, he didn't. Not at all. Not at all. And he's lucky we were playing Ben DiNucci and the Cowboys. Derek Roberts, as a Cowboys fan, I didn't understand why you guys abandoned Scott in the running game. Your first 3 carries went for 45 yards. Hey, Derek, I was just saying this earlier. It was the first thing I said in this entire stream. I don't get it. Look, bro. See, this is what the fair weather fans don't understand. The people that don't come to this channel every week. I keep it real. You cannot win when you abandon the run, and that is all that Doug Pederson does. And I don't understand why. You abandon Boston Scott, who has 3 carries, 45 yards. Miles Sanders, look at Miles Sanders' carries throughout the games this year. Went from 20 to 18 to 16 to 11 to 9. Then he got hurt. It's like, come on, Doug. Miles Sanders broke out 2 huge runs for 75 yards. And we don't run the guy. I don't get it, man. I don't get it, man. Bengal corner, don't got 1 Super Bowl, Dallas about 5. Well, first off, it seems like you've been living in that Bengals corner for a long time now because if I'm not mistaken, a couple years back, I think we got a Super Bowl. And it's funny. I mean, I talk about the Cowboys, the Bengals. You want to talk about a dumpster fire. You finally got a quarterback, but your team, I mean, that franchise that's great. That's great. I mean, we got Bengals fans up in here. I love it. Can you please be an Eagles fan before a player fan? What are you talking about? Wentz holds on to the ball too long, needs to release the ball. I agree. I agree with all this. Like that first sack that Wentz took when he rolled out and had there was nobody in front of him. And he just holds on to it and takes a sack. It doesn't make sense. But again, I see the same mistakes. Like, is Doug Pederson instructing? Is this coaching staff instructing? Or what? Is Carson Wentz, does he need who got it? Was it Jameis Winston that got laser eye surgery? I'm just asking, like, I have an Eagles jersey with my own name on it. You're a fool if you think Wentz is going to get a Super Bowl. He's the worst quarterback in the league, can't win a playoff game, and he gets respect. I don't even know if I have even have the energy to answer this right now, but where do I even start? Like, Wentz is playing bad right now. I'm not going to deny that, but to say he's the worst quarterback in the league, I don't know about that. He went to the playoffs last year. He was one of 2 starters to stay healthy. Got taken out by a cheap shot in the playoffs. 2017, as much as people don't want to admit it, he was at least part of why we got to the playoffs, got a first-round bye. But I'll give you that. He's got to finish a playoff game. Shout out to Fletcher Cox. Great game from him. Hey, the D-line, a lot of respect. Fletcher Cox, all right. Josh Sweat's still playing well. Malik Jackson went down. Brandon Graham's still doing his thing. So, shout out to them. Doug will be fine. It's Roseman and potentially Wentz on the hottest seat. Maybe. But I don't know. I feel like Doug would be gone before Carson, in my opinion, but we're going through that in Chicago. Did Dallas quarterback turn the ball over 4 times? No. But did he play well? No. Stop defending Wentz and be a real Eagles fan, or I'm going to unsubscribe. Hey, you do what you got to do, bro. At the end of the day, I speak how I feel. You know, if you want to cry about it and, you know, if you want to get hurt because it's not the same opinion as you, go ahead. Act like I care. Come on, man. Ridiculous, bro. I mean, it's like the entire fan base. There's a problem with the fan base, too. Because the first 4 weeks of the season, it was bench Carson Wentz. The last 3 weeks, it was Carson's a hero. And now it's, you know, after one game, it's bench Carson. And that's the thing I don't like. But I'm not going to come out here and say those people are just completely wrong. Or they can't defend. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. Act like I care. Ridiculous, bro. So leadership, that's where he's improved. All right. Look, it's way too late for this. Eric, do you want me to bring out the stats? Because Carson Wentz is the first quarterback for 3 consecutive years to throw 21 plus touchdowns and 7 or fewer interceptions, right? Do we want to talk about that? No. Do we want to talk about the fact he was probably throwing to your next door neighbor's uncle's son's kid's brother last year and beat the Dallas Cowboys to get to the playoffs? Do we want to talk about that? No. Dude, that's where he's improved. The dude has been decimated with everything around him and has still been able to come out on top last year. I mean, do we want to talk about that? No. This year, he's not looked as good. I can admit that. But again, there are other problems around him. It's not one problem. I don't know how people can't see this, man. Do we want to talk about the fact he's never been given a number 1 receiver? Now he has a Travis Fulgham who's in the works, who's emerging. Do we want to talk about the fact his head coach doesn't run the ball? But no, you guys don't watch. You don't watch. It's people that just look at the box score and say, that's what we need to do. Do we want to talk about the fact that Carson Wentz has been disrespected since he got to Philly? Do we want to talk about that? I don't think so. Do we want to talk about the fact that this franchise pays Carson Wentz $32 million a year and drafts a quarterback in the second round. What organization does that? You've had fans in this fan base going against Carson since he got here. Has he been treated with 100% respect? No. I'm tired of people that just look at the box score. It's ridiculous, bro. My God, bro. And it's the same people like you that say, oh, bench Carson Wentz. And then 3 weeks later, when Carson Wentz wins 3 in a row, oh, Carson's my guy. No, stop. It's okay to say Carson Wentz is playing bad, but he's your quarterback. He's improved. It's okay to say that. Has he improved in every area? No. Is he making bad decisions? Yes. It's okay to understand that. It's ridiculous, bro. Wentz is the quarterback of this team, whether you like it or not. He's not going anywhere. If you put in Hurts, we lose more games than we have. People that are calling for Jalen Hurts don't know what they're talking about, bro. RB doesn't need fair weather fans. Opinions are opinions. That's what I'm saying, man. If you don't like what look, I speak it how I see it, and I respect how everybody else sees it. You come into this chat, you're going to get a bunch of different opinions. That's just how it is. But at the end of the day, I'm going to respect what you say. If you can't respect what I say, well, click that X button. Get up on out of here. I don't care. Do you think this offense would run more efficiently with a faster guy like Jalen Hurts? I think this offense would run more efficiently if we ran the ball with a running back. How about more motion? How about more creativity, right? We saw a drive last week where Doug Pederson had Deshaun Jackson in motion in the first drive of the game, and we went down in 11 plays and scored with ease. Why is the offense so stale now? Huh? I'm an Eagles fan, not a player fan. Defend the Eagles. Doug won a Super Bowl with Foles, not Wentz. Carson's biggest issue is ball security and decision making, not the wide receivers. I agree with that. I agree. I'm a Dolphins fan, so this is all outside looking in. He doesn't seem like your franchise quarterback. Well, there's a lot. Exactly. It's from the outside looking in. They're in the Eagles fan base. You will have people that don't like Carson Wentz, and you'll have people that do. That's just how the Eagles have been since he has gotten here. Right now, he does not look like the franchise quarterback moving forward. I agree with you. But to say that he hasn't improved at all, to say that he doesn't have talent, I don't agree with that. Eagles have no creativity on offensive plays. Cowboys have more creativity with their third string. That's what I'm saying, man. But it's just like, oh. I'm unsubscribing to you. You're a fool. Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't care. You act like I care. We'd rather have people like you not in the chat that can't talk back and forth, that can't debate. Run the ball a lot with running backs that barely weigh 200 pounds. Come. I don't think Doug is the problem. Wentz is the problem. I think both of them are the problem. They're both the problem. Wentz is the problem right now. The turnovers. Yeah, the turnovers are terrible. Wentz is playing terrible right now. He has not been able to put together a full 4-quarter game without mistakes. I agree. At the end of the day, though, I'm not going to put the full blame on Carson. I'm not going to put the full blame on Doug. It's a combination. People mention Super Bowl wins. A Cincy fan flexes Dallas 5 Super Bowls, but most Dallas fans don't even know what one is because they haven't lived long enough to see one. Facts. Decision making is garbage. He's 5 years in and can't see a defender 10 yards away. Look, I agree with the decision making. That is something that, you kind of just got to have. Like, it can partially be instructed, but you also just got to have that instinct. And right now, I don't see that instinct from him. Only thing I have to say, though, is that I have seen that instinct in the past, so it kind of makes me wonder. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like Wentz, to me, it's not like Wentz has always been just completely terrible. But that's just me. But right now, he's bad. As a whole product, he's bad right now. And I agree. But that's just me. Wentz problems are due to organizational dysfunction. He's not Mahomes, but he's much better than this. Facts. You don't have to answer to them. They're not worth your time. Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous, man. Like, I come up on here to have fun. I come up on here to talk sports and to talk the Eagles, man, to talk the Sixers. Like, if you can't handle an opinion, man, you don't need to be up in here. I got the people in here that can talk, Eagles fans, Cowboys fans, whatever. I got the people that can talk up in here and have a debate. That's what it's all about, man. Carson is who he is, potentially a good player, potentially great, but he's a fumbler. He needs a run game, arguably more than he needs a stud at wide receiver. I agree. If Dak was playing, do you think we would have won the game? I can't say what would have happened, but would you have had a much better chance? Yeah, you would. We have to let 2017 go. Wentz has been brutal. Why do we have to let it go? But yet, why is that the only year we have to let go? I could say the same thing about the next year, the year after that, this year. Like, I don't understand people that say that. You got to take everything into account. People even forget Wentz's rookie year when he played okay. I mean, he was throwing the ball to Dorial Green Beckham and Jordan Matthews, and he got notified on 10 days' notice that he was going to be the starter. People are always going to take cheap shots at Carson, but another quarterback plays bad and it's nothing. Exactly, bro. Stop playing hero ball. Wentz take what they give you. Exactly. That's another thing. That is partially Wentz and also partially Doug. I agree, though. A lot of that is on Wentz. Flyers fan, what's going on, my guy? What's going on? It's been a while, man. Appreciate you, man. How are you doing? We got the dub, and that's all that matters. Tell him, bro, those are facts. Carson has never had a QB1, a wide receiver one, right? Yeah. Eagles fans, we just beat Dallas. When Dallas was using a high school playbook, can we talk about how bad Dallas was? I love beating Dallas so much. We own Dallas. Go Birds. I love it, my guy. Love the enjoyment, the confidence. I love it. I've kept it consistent, but because consistency matters, players come, players go to play out the quarterback his own watch. I agree. No guy should ever be safe with his job. But at the same time, you want to talk about consistency? Can we talk about Doug Pederson? I'm just saying, man, you got to keep it fair on both sides. Have we done enough? Has Howie Roseman done enough for Carson Wentz too? Like, people just want to forget about these things. I mean, is it Carson Wentz's fault that we drafted J.J. Arcega-Whiteside over DK Metcalf? I guess so, right? And again, I'm not excusing any other play. Wentz is playing bad. Doug is coaching bad. And at the end of the day, there is a lot of issues in the organization. It's not just one thing. And that's what I'm trying to say, man. I already said the Eagles didn't play well tonight. Right now, he's brutal. I'm not saying he's the only issue, but he's the number one problem. He's up there, yeah. Wentz did all that was needed to get a victory. Talk about the last 4 games versus teams at 500 or under. You still haven't told me where he's improved except leadership. I just rallied off. Do you want me to rally it off again? I mean, come on, Eric. Come on, man. I know you know what I'm talking about, man. I'm not saying he's the perfect quarter. I'm not saying he's the best quarterback. Wentz needs to stop with them fumbles. I agree. Can't wait to hear Skip tomorrow when Shannon serves up hot L's, as you should. Wentz played best, but y'all are acting like Dak hasn't had worse games. Exactly. It's because it's a Philly thing. I never once said Carson's my guy. Aren't you a Dolphins fan? Why would you say Carson's your guy? Come on. I understand you're on the outside looking in. You don't watch all the games. You don't understand. It's okay. It's okay. What happens if Carson takes him to the promised land? You already know what's going to happen, Andy. You know, they'll all come back around. Or they won't even give him his credit, probably. Opinions are opinions. I'm not a Wentz fan, but I'm not here bashing people because they are Wentz fans. Get over yourselves if you don't like what you're hearing. Exactly, Philly girl. Shout out to you. If you can't come in here and debate and at least talk, you know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. We mad for this win. It's crazy. I feel you. I don't understand Doug, bro. He has explosive receivers and wants to put Goddard as a wideout. Yeah, and doesn't use Goddard. Doesn't use him, but all right. I need Travis in fantasy. Dude's a monster. Yeah, I picked him up, bro. I've been starting him ever since the Niners game. It's crazy. Hope you have a good night, my guy. RB, go Birds. As always, shout out to you. Hey, we're about to get up off here in like 5 minutes. I just had to respond to some of these people because, man, some of these people talk crazy. I mean, you guys go week by week, man. It's ridiculous. Don't pay attention to the fools. Let the dude unsubscribe. We got you, bro. Yeah, it is what it is, man. I don't really care. It's ridiculous, bro. It's like you can't come up in here and have your own opinion, bro. Eagles got the dub. I don't know why all the peeps in the chat mad. I mean, I admitted myself, there's still things we got to work on. I mean, we did not play a polished game, but like, I guess it just is what it is, man. It's just Philly fans there. It's just Philly fans for you. So At least he's healthy and taking what he's got and working with it. Eagles are number 1 in the East. Sleeping like a baby tonight. Fly, Eagles, fly. Shout out to you. Wentz is our quarterback. I'm a huge Wentz supporter, but he has regressed. That's the truth. His decision-making and ball security this season is concerning. 100% agree with you. 100% agree. I am not denying that. I don't know why people think I'm making excuses or denying that. I'm not. Like he's not been anywhere near what I expected him to develop into. I'm just saying that there's other components as well that I feel like people don't look at. Petty to unsubscribe because you disagree with someone's opinions. Exactly, man. He needs another quarterback coach. Facts. I mean, it's just facts. He looked his best with John DeFilippo and Frank Reich. Just like the offense did. Creativity, you can't be too fancy with it. This isn't college football. Yeah, but you need some, right? I mean, I can literally call plays as I'm watching it. Doug and Wentz aren't a good combination. I think they need another person in there to kind of, balance it out. You do you, man. You know what you're saying. Most people on here are haters on Wentz than lovers to keep it real. Y'all listen to this, man. He's right. Y'all don't want to hear the truth. Appreciate that, bro. I'm just giving my opinion. Wentz needs a quarterback coach. Wentz would have been benched if the division wasn't so terrible. You would have had to bench him to send a message like McNabb. Some players that had a great game but will get overlooked. Will Parks, TJ, Javon, and Jason Kelsey. All good games. They have Elijah Holyfield. Let him play. Doug has no chemistry with Carson. Facts. Creativity. How can you be creative when Wentz can't see 15 yards of open? It's not about that, bro. I'm not even on the play. How about before the snap? Defenses know exactly what we're throwing right into them, right? How about simplifying it if you don't want to be that creative, right? I mean, it'll be 1st and 10, and we're trying some trick play, or we're trying to throw it 50 yards downfield. It's ridiculous, man. But you're right. There are plays where Wentz isn't seeing it clear. McCown for quarterback coach. I would love that. Any status on Slay? I don't have anything. I don't. But I think he went out for the rest of the game. So it is too early to give up on Carson. He has a lot of promise. We need the proper OC and Brandon Brooks back. Wentz needs to revisit his visit to Gruden's quarterback camp. I feel you. Making some questionable decisions, for real. Carson's like Brady. Weapons for success, but that doesn't mean he's bad. He was an MVP convo with Mahomes and Russ. I hear you. No consistency, being hit and sacked the most, bad play calling and having to be the hero and having to prove everyone wrong instead of getting him help. They drafted a backup quarterback in the 2nd round. I mean, I agree, but people don't want to see that. And I'm not defending him on the front line, just saying that nothing's his fault. Again, and I respect everybody up in here giving your different opinions. I love it. I love the back and forth, the debates and all that. But at the end of the day, I just feel like there's a lot more issues than people just see on the surface. You know what I mean? Frank Reich will have this team running the way the Eagles were playing it in 17. Facts. I love Wentz, but he's teetering on the verge of losing his job next season. He's improved a little, but this year, inexplicably, he's making terrible decisions. Hope he improves. It seems mental. Yeah, there's some mechanical things in there. But I don't know. I guess we got to wait and see what happens. It's just funny, though, how the last couple of weeks, like everybody was all praising Carson Wentz, and now he's, back to on the verge of being out. But Fulgham's looking more and more legit as the weeks go on. Fulgham's the man, no doubt about it. Philly Mike, Philly Talk Podcast. What's going on, bro? I'm guessing you just got off your post game. I didn't even expect to be on here this long. I keep saying I'm about to get off, and I'm about to, but I had to respond to some of these people. We've been debating good tonight. We've been debating, man. What's going on, bro? How do you feel about this game? Philly Fresh said he thinks Carson isn't buying into Doug's mediocre play calling, which is why he tries to do too much. I think that's a great point. I personally do. Because you notice when the Eagles go to the hurry-up offense, right? Whether it's on a regular drive or whether it's the 2-minute drill, right? It's how come the last 3 weeks in the last 5 minutes of a game things can just click like that? How come Carson Wentz can just roll down the field in 8 plays, 90 yards, and score a touchdown when they're running the no huddle offense? That's what I'm wondering. It's an interesting question. Doug is the number one problem. I think Doug and Carson is the problem. I don't know who's more right now, but I don't know. Go Birds. Good night, friends. Hoping Wentz learns from the film during the bye week. He's got talent. Good game, Dallas. Have a good night. Love this channel, bro. The bye week's going to help the players so much. I agree, man. We got to get healthy. It's another thing. We got to get healthy, especially up front, man. Hopefully Lane comes back and he'll be all right. My thoughts on tonight's game are Travis Fulgham. Dude is legit. He's the man. No doubt about it. Doug's play calling is horrible. We need to hire a new OC to take over the play calling duties seriously. Bergang Jojo, I've been saying this for weeks. I came out with it tonight. I'll say it in my final thoughts video tomorrow. Doug is not a play caller. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. He's not getting it done. And his decision making is bad as well. I don't want Wentz to fail. I'm just seeing what I'm seeing. He looks bad. It's week 8, and it seems like he has regressed. I live 15 minutes from Philly. I watch the games outside looking in, but while watching, just making that clear. Hey, well, I'm just letting you know, man. I'm just giving you my opinion on it. These fools aren't Philly fans. They've been fans since we stole the Super Bowl. Doug has regressed too. Frank Reich is the architect. Thank you, Edwin. I'm telling you, man, Frank Reich was the architect. Doug pushed all the right buttons at the right time. But the play designs of what we saw in 2017 was much different. There's no reason that they simplified a playbook for Nick Foles in 3 weeks. And things were just much easier. You know what I mean? But there's responsibility from both. It's not mad for winning. It's level of play. It's a win, but the big picture, this kind of football won't get it done in the playoffs. Facts. I agree. I live 15 minutes. The sooner they see that the sooner they can fix the problem is it hurts. I don't know, man. As a Cowboys fan, we don't deserve to be number one. Congrats on the win. Shout out to you, man. Respect. Both picks were on the wideouts. I said the same thing, but now, actually, no. The one in the end zone was Carson's fault. He shouldn't have threw that into double coverage. But the two passes to John Hightower should have been caught. One was an interception, and one dropped, but was an easy touchdown. LA Rams, what's going on, bro? Bergang says they need new trick plays, wheel routes, reverses, flea flickers. They need something to get things going sometimes. You know what I mean? What happened to quick slants and letting the guys make a play? Facts. Our tight ends had one catch tonight. Richard Rodgers wasn't even in the game. Dallas Goedert had one catch, and it came in the end of the third quarter. It's crazy. Jaquette looked good. Do you know his status? I don't. I don't think he has a major injury, but I'm not sure. Eagles are the kind of team that clicks at the right time. This is the grind. We go deep into the playoffs when we're finally hitting on all cylinders. We can battle with any team. There you go. But hey, I think we're about to wrap this up, man. We still got 116 people up in here. I appreciate you guys a lot. If you guys have not yet, please hit that like button for me. Helps push this out to others. We do this after every game. If you guys like the content and you're not afraid to come in and debate your own opinions, hit the subscribe if you guys would like. On one bright point, Wentz is hitting the sideline better. Ward making that catch ends his game faster. I agree. Wentz had a couple of nice balls, but none of these teams are good. NFC East is trash. Yeah. I like running back Sanders. Wish he went to Pittsburgh. Sanders is a beast, but again, we're still not using him to the most extent that we should. Theme of tonight, don't be happy about the win. Look for fixing short-term problems over the bye and the long-term over the offseason. This is a painstaking process. I feel you. Absolutely agree. It's like Doug still uses 2017 plays. Exactly. This man aligns this. He doesn't align his plays to his personnel, and it's a big issue. That post was 5 yards behind Hightower. It went straight to Diggs. I believe you're talking about the second one. If you actually go back and watch it, it was a terrible route ran by John Hightower. And the first one, he stopped running. We need to trade Ertz, Alshon, Djax. At this point, they're sucking up cat money. Exactly. And our future is on the field now in Rieger, Goddard, and Fulgham. Honestly. Run the damn ball. We used to be the best screen team. Exactly. Facts. It's ridiculous. When's your next live stream, bro? I'm digging your channel. Hey, appreciate you, man. I'm probably going to do a Sixers stream this week. I do Sixers on this channel as well. But for the Eagles, I do it after every Eagles game, immediately after. Sometimes I do it before as well. Like today, I did a pregame with my guy Joey Shakes. But yeah, we just come in here and talk. Might do one this week. We'll see. But appreciate you, man. Enjoy being a third string quarterback, sloppy to say the least, but you guys won. Enjoy. You put the INTs on a wide receiver, so you're going to blame the fumbles on. The fumbles were on Carson Wentz. Again, I'm not making any excuses for him. I just give the blame where I see it. We got to love the Eagles win or lose, and this was a win over our fraudulent rivals that haven't done anything in a quarter century. Facts, and they're done. Their season's over. They were all up in here crying earlier, but they left. They got weeded out. So it is what it is. That route, Quiz runs it perfectly. That's why Douglas got cut. How do you feel about the Dolphins? I never even cared about the Dolphins, bro, to be honest. Let's go. RB added you the other day. Much love. Shout out to you, Ismail. Appreciate you, bro. Age of the plays doesn't matter. The execution matters. Yeah, but the situational timing matters as well. Come on, man. Everybody has blame in it. How's the O-line coach not being discussed? They have horrible all-year backups. Have to be better. Blitzes get right. I thought our O-line coach has done all right given what he's had. But yeah, there's been a lot of pressure too. So, dang, this stream lasted a lot. Yeah, I've been trying to get up off here, but just a lot of controversial takes. But I love it, man. I love it. But yeah, I'm about to go to sleep. Eagles win 23-9, move to 3-4-1, sitting atop the NFC Least. And no matter what happens, I'm gonna rep my team. Eagles won. Not the prettiest, very sloppy. Wentz has to be much better. Doug's got to be better. And there's a lot of things to question. But at the same time, a win is a win. And Cowboys fans are salty everywhere, and I love it. And we have a week to get healthy here. We have 2 weeks to get healthy, and then we got the Giants again. So for some reason, every game has to be a heart attack for the most part for the Eagles. But at the end of the day, here we are. Be honest, Carson Wentz is your cousin. No, he's not. This stream lasted Sunday till Monday. DiNucci had a higher passer rating. Well, if the only thing you're looking at is passer rating, that shows a lot about you. My team is bad. It is what it is. Welcome to 2020. We got the bye week to hopefully fix all our problems. It's all fun, bro. It is what it is, man. It's just talking football, debating. Imagine being happy about a win over the Cowboys. Shows a lot. Well, imagine being up in an Eagles content creator chat at 2 a.m. with all your little crybaby buddies because you come here to hear the truth. That shows a lot about you. You guys are soft. You're weak. You're crybabies. And for the team that is coined America's team, that a couple weeks ago was talking Super Bowl aspirations. I don't want to hear it. You're soft. RB, great stream, man. And also, good night. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Still got 100 up in here. With that being said, Eagles win again, 23-9. They moved to 3-4-1. A lot of things to fix, critique going forward. I'll have a video up tomorrow with my final thoughts. Then we'll head into the bye week, and we will enjoy it. Shout out to all you guys, man. Bird Gang, can I get a wrench? I got you, bro. But, hey, with that being said, I go by RB, Philly take with RB, and I'm going to sleep good tonight. I'm going to sleep good knowing that the Eagles just beat the stinking Cowboys. Even though it was sloppy, even though both teams weren't at their best, at the end of the day, we beat the stinking Cowboys. Their season's done. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one, man. Peace.